Beya, welcome back to Grouse Magazine. How you feeling today, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Beya, this is your second time here at Guru House, but for the people that don't know who you are, for our new listeners, for our new readers and subscribers, can you please give them a short introduction?
Hi, my name is Beya. I'm a singer, songwriter, producer, all that good stuff, and I'm just happy to be here.
Hey, thank you. We appreciate that. So we're gonna jump right into it. You know, people already know who you are from your previous issue. So we're gonna get into being of service, right? Educating the people, right? So as we stated in our previous episode of the Guru House interviews, this platform is now to help other artists grow their audience or grow their money. You know what I mean? Start getting cookies up. So I'm gonna get right into it. You are part of Artist Collective now, right? Has your income or your audience metrics increased since joining this new Artist Collective?
Yeah, I would definitely say my metrics, as far as who sees me, like the viewers, the listeners, I would like to say that my income as well, but we have to remember that it takes money to make money. You know what I'm saying? So like,
you
even
reinvest once you get it.
Exactly. As soon as it comes, it goes. But that's what that's the life I chose.
As you should. I think that's an important lesson, important expectations for newer artists. Like the income, of course, is not going to come immediate, and even the ones that you get, for you to grow, you got to put that money in either in marketing or getting new equipment, stuff like that. So I'm glad that you highlighted that, because niggas think you jump right into this and you just get bread. It's
no.
Okay. What would you say most artists should? Would you say that most artists should join a collective, or is it really only for certain type of people, certain type of artists?
I'll say this. I'll say that having people is important. And it doesn't always have to be like a collective, an established group. If you have close friends that are willing to come to your shoots and help you out, or, come to the studio with you and make sure that, you're saying the right things, or just having somebody else's input. Coming from somebody who used to do everything by themselves, it's just very important, not even like statistically, but creatively, to have other people's opinions and input in your process. Especially as an artist, you end up being your harshest critic a lot of the time. So also just having people around to tell you like, no, that's actually hot, don't overthink it. Like, you're doing your shit. So, yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's a really good point to highlight. For example, like I saw a documentary about Steven Spielberg. He used to be in a group with George Lucas in the 70s.
Okay.
So like it just goes to show you that a lot of the best stuff come from being in a group. Like if you watch Star Wars, in the first beginning of the movie, there's a title screen, a whole bunch of words that explain the whole universe, right?
Yeah, right.
And that almost never happened because Lucas thought he could just do whatever he wanted, but he got aired out by one of his friends, or one of his artist friends, and he added that. So it shows collaboration is very important.
Right.
You've been in the game for a while now. Where have you been finding success growing your audience? What tools or what marketing campaigns or schemes have you been using? Have you been finding success to grow your audience?
I feel like one of the biggest things that I've had to come to terms with in the last 2 years or so is you sometimes overthink what you're putting out because you're thinking of the consumer. Will they like this? Is this a TikTok song? Is this a song that they could play at parties? Whatever. When in reality, just like how you make friends, you don't know what people like. You don't know how people are going to react to you until you are yourself, and then you start to attract the people that like the same things you do, or are into the same stuff that you're into. And I feel like music is the same thing. Like, you have to be confident and put yourself out there and do what you like to do, regardless of if it's attracting people in the beginning, because eventually when you do grow your fan base, they will be people that actually understand you, actually feel you, and like are on the same page. And you'll be surprised as to how many people that you'll find out there that like think like you do.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Okay, great. That's really good, man. I think that's really sound.
Yes.
On the other side of that coin is that when you grow your audience, eventually you get to a point where you start to monetize, right? Either on YouTube. With YouTube, you got to get a certain amount of viewerships or whatever.
Right.
With an artist, it's a little bit different, right? You do whatever you can to monetize. So, where have you been finding success monetizing your art or your music?
Because I'm gonna be honest, like social media is so not my thing. Like if I was like not doing music, I would definitely be like one of those people in a cave that never like could post anything. But it is important, and I feel like one of the biggest things for me as far as like monetizing my art, because you know you don't get a lot from streams and things, is one, doing events, and you know, shows, concerts, or even sometimes not even like shows or concerts, sometimes just an event that has your vibe. Like I threw a Halloween party and I wasn't performing or anything, but it was just, you know, it was a collective of people that I felt like understood me, understood the mind. That and like, you know, having fun with your merch and things like that. But that also takes like the social media, you know, part of it. You have to advertise it to people, you have to push it to people. And so understanding your audience and things like that so that you can, because you can monetize on TikTok, you can monetize on Instagram, things like that, but you really want to convert those internet people into real people, Absolutely. You know, outside, because that's where they spend the most money, you know what I mean? Like, they might be out there for your song or for your show, but then they might buy a drink, they might buy a shirt because they feeling on, you know what I'm saying? So I think those are important.
Absolutely. I think that's a real gem. Emphasis on convert those people to real people. Even though you avoid social media, you see the streets, you see what people are doing.
Right.
And even in just real life, everyday life, right? So you come across other artists in, you know, the circuit. What pitfalls are you seeing out there in regards to energy and resources that you think new artists should avoid?
Following the trends, you know what I'm saying? Because a trend is just that. It's a trend and it's only going to last but so long. And so if you're seeing a trend pop off and you're trying to hop on it, by the time you're hopping on it and comfortable, the next person made something new. And you'd be surprised, like, we're all different. We've all lived different lives. What you have to offer as a different person can be the next trend, you know? And so to set trends rather than follow them, I think is important.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's tough, man. That's tough. But going back to your artist collective, I feel like, and you know, I did a little bit of research on you guys. I feel like you guys have such a specific, a wide range of artist personalities, right? Do you guys collaborate on songs together, or is it just input and advice that you're per se getting there in that collective?
I would say that, you know, it's a lot of input, advice. Like, when you say collaborate, it's not necessarily like, oh, I'll be on a feature or like, you know, something like that, but more so like ideas, just being surrounded by people that can offer you ideas that you might have not thought of. Or, you know, just being supportive, you know, giving people that support to let them know, like, no, you're doing the right thing, or you're going in the right direction, or something like that. Or, no, this shit is ass. Like, you know, like, switch that up, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, yeah, I feel like that's more of the collaborative effort than, like, actually seen on screen collaborative, you know?
Are you still in that stage of your career that you still feel like you have to work on your branding, or do you feel like your branding is kind of crystallized into what you think it should be?
Branding is like my arch nemesis. Like, and I think it's because me as a person, I change often. And I think it's because I'm influenced by a lot of things. And so it's like, even though I feel like this one day, I might not feel like that the next day. And so rather than make your brand, because I feel like aesthetics, especially when social media became very large, aesthetics became very big. But at the end of the day, most people, are influenced by a lot of different things. And so I feel like, honestly, branding never stops, because you never stop changing. You never stop evolving and being a different person. And so I feel like, going back to what I said earlier, as long as you're showing who you really are, all of those people, like all of those pieces will reach people. And so kind of like how Doja Cat right now, like, people are all like going crazy because she shaved her head, shaved her eyebrows and whatever, but that's always been her. And I feel like, if you feel the punk edge that she does with her energy or with her personality, it's not as shocking. But even so, to make that leap and say like, well, even if people don't know this is who I am inside, I'm going to show them that physically, is a big thing. And now people that like shave their heads and shave their eyebrows off have somebody look at it and be like, what, she is like me, and she could throw that wig on and be a baddie too. Right. So yeah.
Okay, I think that's a good answer. It's hard, man. It's hard when we're inundated with all these different types of personalities and people. It used to be that we'd have 2 or 3 TV channels.
Exactly.
Right.
Genres with genres,
exactly. We would copy what we see on TV or try to change that. But now it's just so many different people, so many different versions, you know what I'm saying? So
right.
I get you. Man, if I wasn't doing this, I would not be on social media either.
You're right.
It's crazy. Do you still aspire? Have you ever aspired to be on a record label?
I feel like when you're coming up as an artist, you always want to, because you're hype. Especially like me, I was like very into like old school shit. So it's just like back in the day, like 60s, 70s, of course you need to be on the label. Like you couldn't just pass your shit out back in the day. Like you had to be on the label. But nowadays, all I'm gonna say, I won't say no label, yes label, but I'll just say stay true to yourself. If you believe in something, don't let anybody divert you from that. If you truly see it, especially as an artist, like you have people coming out to your shows, you have people listening to your songs, buying your merch. It's right there that people appreciate what you're doing. You know what I mean? And so if you come across a label that says, all right, no, that's cool, but you gotta do this, you gotta switch this, whatever. Just think about it. Sometimes, depending on the circumstance, sometimes it might be worth it for you. But like, I don't think anything is worth losing myself in.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? And so like, if it comes around and people want to respect me and what I do and my artistry, like, of course, I need that bread. But like, at the end of the day, I know what I offer as a person, as an artist, and I want to keep that. Amen. Because I feel like, especially as a woman, being in the industry, there's a lot of ownership of who you should be, what you should look like, what you should sound like, and things like that. And no, like, no, like, it's you, like, who you are, your friends know who you are, your family knows who you are, like, so don't be persuaded, like, you don't have to get BBL, girl. If you cute, like, you know what I'm saying, like, just you know what I mean? Just be you. People already love you for you. So why, unless it's for you inside, then don't change that.
I'm glad that you said it and not me, because if I say you don't need a BBL,
right. I mean, and hey, if you want the BBL though, if that's what you want, then go get that shit, sis. You look good, but don't be pressured. Only do it if that's what you want. Like, don't let the industry tell you that you need to switch it up.
Absolutely. No, I'm glad that you added to that, man. That's so important, especially for our aspiring female artists out there. Yeah. Men too, if you're doing BBL, that's cool.
Right.
So it's not off the table, right? But you're not necessarily putting yourself. It sounds like you're not necessarily trying to put yourself in those rooms where it's a likelihood, like you're trying, like getting close to people that are in the industry. It doesn't sound like that's one of your main objectives. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I mean, now it is important. I'm gonna say it is important to know the right people. However, this goes with me, like, not losing myself and wanting to continue being who I am. It has to work. Once you start forcing it, not only do you take away from yourself and who you are and the person that you've worked on for so long, you know, like you worked on who you are for so long just to give it up to people that tell you that you need to be something else. And so instead, I just try to find people that I know respect me and what I do, appreciate what I do. And I feel like that's the only way that, like, genuine music and genuine art can come out of me. You know, if I'm surrounded by people that actually want the genuine me to come out, you know? And so I'm still looking, but just because you got a name, just because you got a title, just because you work with so-and-so don't mean that, okay, yeah, I'm gonna jump through. Yeah, all right, that's cool, but what can you do for me? You know what I mean?
What is something that you would recommend a new artist to outsource instead of trying to do themselves? To get the most value, like to get the best results?
Honestly, this is going to sound broad and vague, but anything that anybody is willing to help you with, take it. If they are being genuine, if they are respecting you, take it. Because it's coming from somebody who did everything. Like, I produced my songs, I recorded my songs, I mixed my songs, wrote them, I played the instruments. Like, it was a lot. And not only does it take a toll on you, but it also makes you second guess yourself. You're always listening to yourself. You know, you need that energy. You know, people will bring things to you that you never expected. And so, cause even, like, you know, the cover art, I was doing that myself and things like that. But, like, there are people whose life revolves around doing graphic design. They're obviously gonna see things differently than you. I say hone in on what you're strongest on, and then if somebody wants to help you with anything outside of that, and they're, like, willing to respect you and what you do, then take it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm strongest singing and writing, that's my thing. I like to produce, but if I have a producer that fits what I do, then I'm going to have him produce, so I only have to worry about singing and writing. You know what I mean? I don't have to worry about taking the pictures for the cover art, you know, things like that, if that's somebody's thing, if that's what they do. You know?
That was really good. What medium or platform do you find that you have the most listener engagement on? Is it your socials? Is it YouTube? Is it your live performances?
I would like to say, honestly, live performances.
So people should just get out there.
You know why? Because you can post whatever you want. You know what I mean? Like, and if you're good at the social media stuff, then do that. You know, if you're good at the YouTube stuff, then do that. But me, what I'm good at is talking to somebody, you know? And I feel like it's weird. Like, when I post a picture, like, whatever, I'm thinking a million things. Like, oh, is this angle good? Is this lighting good? What's in the background? Blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I don't have time to think about that when I'm talking to somebody. They have no choice but to get the real me. And it's reassuring when you introduce yourself as the real you to somebody, and that's what they want. That's what they reciprocate best. And so I definitely think those live interactions is when I really grasp people, you know.
Absolutely. That's good. All right. I'm happy with this.
I'm glad. I'm so happy. Yeah, me too.
One last question before we go. What is something that you would love to impart, a piece of advice that you would give to new artists?
Believe in yourself. Oh, I like the Wiz. Believe in yourself. That's what she said, but she was so right. Like, you don't know what people need until you give it to them. You know what I mean? Like, we was using candles until Ben hit the kite with the key or whatever and did electricity, like, you know, and we thought candles was cool. We didn't know we needed light. So, like, you know, and so it's just like, until you show people something, they're not going to know that they need it. And so if something doesn't sound familiar, like, okay, I made this song, but, like, I've never heard a song like it, I don't know who would like this or whatever, maybe there is somebody waiting for that. Even, like, and not even just music, but, like, the way you dress, like, if you've never seen it before, but you feel like, I look good, I feel confident, somebody's probably waiting for that. And so But you tell yourself, because especially with social media, you're looking at how other people live and you're not seeing the steps that they're taking to get there. All you're seeing is the end result. All you're seeing is like that they've already made it in these houses, in these cars, and like whatever. Don't let that deter you from what you feel for real. You know what I mean? Everything else is kind of like, I won't say everything else is made up. You know, I don't want to get that deep. But like, if you ever need to be reassured for something, dig into yourself. Yeah. You know that feeling when you first heard a song for the first time and it was like nothing you've ever heard. Right. Or like if you have seen art that you've never seen before, you know that feeling. And so if you get that feeling when you've made a song, when you have styled an outfit, when you have taken a photograph, when you have created a painting, trust that somebody else is going to feel that too. It's not just you. There's billions of people on the earth, you know? Yeah. So trust yourself.
Hey, yeah, you know? That was great, man. Beya, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can you, before you go, can you please let the people know where they can find you?
Yes. You can find me on everything Bummy Barbie. Except for TikTok, it's bummy.barbie, you know. Somebody got me there. But other than that, everything is Bummy Barbie. You can follow me on everything. Beya, Beya, on all streaming platforms. And thank you for having me.
No problem. Let's go.
Yay.